Hey, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. My name is DaReal, and we are here with some NBA 2K Mobile, and we got a brand new Courtside pass, which means we're back with another episode of Worth the Hype. This time around, we're going to be looking at the Plasma Quartz Tim Duncan, which just released. We have been grinding all weekend, the events and all that great stuff, and we're officially going to unlock the Courtside pass Tim Duncan today. So let's get into it. Now let's claim the Plasma Quartz Tim Duncan. Definitely an incredible player. Now, what makes Tim Duncan so great? Let's break him down. I'm going to compare him to all the power forwards that released in June. All right, so now it's time to get into the stats and compare Tim Duncan with all those power forwards. So we're looking at shoot-off dribble as the first stat. For power forwards, it's not super important unless you have a power forward who likes to take a lot of jump shots and stay out on the perimeter, like a Dirk Nowitzki. So typically you want your power forward to have at least a 4 in that category, which Tim Duncan does have. And you'll see that not many players have a 5 in their stat. The more traditional power forward won't have that, but like the newer power forwards, like the stretch 4s, like Paolo Banchero has a 5, Dirk Nowitzki, and Jabari Smith Jr. all have a 5 in that category. Layups and dunks, you want your power forward to have at least a 4 in that category as well. The more athletic power forwards will have that. So Aaron Gordon has a 5, Paolo Banchero has a 5, and that's it. For mid-range shooting, you should have a 5 for mid-range shooting for your power forward. It makes up for the fact that they can't hit 3-point shots. You want them to be closer to the rim for rebound opportunities. So Tim Duncan does have a 5 in that. And you'll see that most of the power forwards do have a 5, with the exception of Aaron Gordon, Paolo Banchero, Kyle Anderson, Kevin McHale, Kyle Kuzma, and Herbert Jones. As far as 3-point shot, Tim Duncan was never a 3-point shooter in his time, right? You want him in the post, you want him to get offensive rebounds because he is a beast on the glass. He only has a 2 in that category, but you see most of the power forwards don't have a high stat for that. There are a few exceptions, one being Dirk, who has a 5, and then you got a couple 4s. You got Aaron Gordon, Banchero, Chris Bosh, Kyle Anderson, Jabari Smith Jr., Kyle Kuzma, Herbert Jones. So you notice it's more of the modern age power forward. Post scoring, you want your power forward to have at least a 5 in that stat, which Tim does have. So does Karl Malone, Horace Grant, Chris Bosh, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin McHale. Now you notice Dirk has a 5 in post scoring and a 5 in 3-point shot. That's what makes him really, really elite. Makes him really, really elite. And I would argue that Dirk Nowitzki would have been a better option for power forward, but he was already a courtside pass back in season 4. So that's why we didn't get one this time around. But listen, Tim Duncan isn't that bad, as you can see so far. So let's get back into stats. All right, so now for agility, I think this is Tim Duncan's biggest area of opportunity. You need to make him a little bit faster, right? That's an important part for his build. He has a 3 in the category. The only players who have a 5 in that is Aaron Gordon, Paolo Banchero, and Jabari Smith Jr. And then you'll see some 4s across the board, like Karl Malone has a 4. But again, Karl Malone is also one of those elite power forwards as well. Like Garnett, Karl Malone, Dirk Nowitzki, those are like top tier. Those are like top tier, along with Giannis. Now strength, Tim Duncan has a 5 in that stat, along with Karl Malone, Horace Grant, Paolo Banchero, Kevin Garnett, Kevin McHale. Oh yeah, don't sleep on McHale, he's pretty decent. Now rebounding, Duncan also has a 5. So does Karl Malone, Horace Grant, Chris Bosh, Kevin Garnett, Dirk Nowitzki, and Kevin McHale. So you really want your power forward to have a 5 in that stat. If they don't have a 5 in rebounding, they better have a 5 in 3-point shot. Because if they're not grabbing rebounds, they better be hitting 3s. That's really the idea when building out your player. Now for playmaking, that's another category that I think we can boost for Tim Duncan, right? Because between agility and playmaking, it impacts the player's speed with and without the ball. So he also has a 3 in that category. But most of the power forwards have low stats in that category. The highest is a 4, which is Karl Malone, Paolo Banchero, Kyle Anderson, Kevin Garnett, and Kyle Kuzma, along with Herbert Jones. And then last but not least, we got defending. Tim Duncan is an elite defender. That's why he has a 5. Not too many players have a 5. The only other 5 is Karl Malone, Kevin Garnett, Kevin McHale, and Herbert Jones. So you can see Tim Duncan is pretty elite. He's right up there with the best power forwards inside the game. Now, what shoes you're gonna wear with Tim Duncan? Let's get into the legendary shoes that I recommend. First shoe that catches my attention is the LeBron 15 South Beach. They give you a +2 to agility as the first stat. And then the second stat, for the most part, from what I'm seeing, is either rebounding, strength, or layups and dunks. Both will be good for Tim Duncan. You can see right here, it will bring up agility up to a 5, max out rebounding, or it will max out strength, or it will bring up layups and dunks to a 6. The next shoe is the LeBron 14, +2 to strength as the first stat, +2 to layups and dunks as the second stat, and it looks like it's rotating between strength and agility for the second stat. Next shoe is Wade 6, +2 to defending, which will max out Timmy's defense, and then it will max out his mid-range shooting with that +2 to mid-range as the second stat. Then as a third stat, second stat looks like it alternates between post scoring and agility or strength. Either one will work out for Tim. Next is the Zoom Soldier 9, gives you a +2 to rebounding, with the last stat being a +2 to agility, and the middle stat alternates between playmaking, mid-range, or defending. We got the Crazy Explosive Lows, first stat is +2 to mid-range, last stat is +2 to playmaking, with the middle stat alternating between defending, strength, and rebounding. Then we got the Addy Zero Goes 2, a shoot I'm personally working on. It gives you a +2 to strength, with the last stat being +2 to rebounding, and it alternates between mid-range, defense, and playmaking. We got the Zoom Huarache 2K4s, which are pretty rare. I really haven't seen these shoes, but they give you a +2 to post scoring as the first stat, and then the last stat is +2 to layups and dunks, and it alternates between strength and defending. And we got the Kyrie 2s, gives you +2 to layups and dunks, with the last stat being +2 to post scoring. And then we got we alternate between strength and defending. So those are the shoes that I would recommend for Tim Duncan. We compared them to the other power forwards, recommended some gear. Let's show you some quick gameplay. Fast break time, bring it down, all over him. Ain't nobody stopping the big fundamental. Magic with the court vision once again. Tim with the mid-range. Weak release right there. Magic finds him. He's gonna hit the midi. Got those. I'm almost tempted to take this 3. Why not? Fadeaway 3. I just felt good because this release is nice. Right there, banging on him. We're gonna find Tim Duncan again. We're gonna take a 3. Why not? And we can do it. His release is on point. Double team on Duncan. They ain't stopping him. He's going right to the rim. Dunks it all over the team. Now he's leading the break. Finds Magic with the contact and one, ref. Down low, easy. A little behind the back action. Beautiful pass. Jokic, the MVP, finals MVP, gets it right in there. He's also an NBA champ. Beautiful outlet pass. Off the glass, that's what he does. The backboard is Tim Duncan's best friend. Off the glass, light work. Fundamentals, catch and shoot. Splash. So it looks like they added a 3-point shot for him. Got to get him on the side of the wings, right? Mid-range. So smooth with it. All right, so there you have it. Today you have the brand new Courtside pass, Tim Duncan. Top tier power forward, a lot of fun to use. And I gotta admit, his gameplay was even better than before. A lot smoother than I expected because Timmy was hitting 3s. Let's just be real. That doesn't happen. For some reason, those shots were dropping. And I gotta admit, his jump shot is smooth. And you know, he's a monster in the post, incredible rebounder. And for some reason also, a more ferocious dunker as well. So as always, I appreciate all the support everyone's been showing on the channel. So I will catch everyone in the next episode. And we got some more bangers lined up. All right, so peace out.